They win the NFC South.
How disappointing. It's like the Bucs were that cocky boxer that, goes into the fight all amped up, going like this, like telling his opponent, punch me, punch me. Molly-whopped him. I really wanted to make this video yesterday, but I knew I would overreact. Just sitting there for 4 quarters at Raymond James, sweating, watching this. The Broncos embarrassed the Bucs. They humiliated the Bucs. They dominated the Bucs at home in every facet of the game, offense, defense, coaching. There's very little you can take away from this game as a Bucs fan. There really is. Before I drill into this team, let's give credit where credit is due. The Denver Broncos, no one gave them a shot. The same way no one gave us a shot against the Lions. You saw the graphics when we played them. It went Lions. This week, Bucs over Broncos, Bucs over Broncos, Bucs over Broncos. And they came in, punched us in the mouth, ate our food, kicked us while we were down, stole our jewelry, and then just pranced out the house. All fine and dandy. We made Bo Nix, who could not do anything the first 2 games other than scramble here and there. Anything throwing the ball further than 5 yards down the field was unsuccessful for this Broncos team. And he just comes out here and just roll out to the right, throw the ball downfield like prime Aaron Rodgers or something, just escaping every single sack. It was just so frustrating to be there yesterday to watch this performance from the team. The Broncos defense just absolutely bodied the Buccaneers offense. Baker getting sacked 7 times. 7 times. Their offensive line shut down our no-show of a pass rush. I mean, there's just nothing. We can come. Bucky Irving? Is that it? Is that the one thing, guys? Bucky Irving? That's what we're taking away from this game, okay. It's like the Bucs just woke up that Sunday morning and just thought, we can just show up to Raymond James and just out-talent the Denver Broncos. No. This is the NFL. All of us as fans said just do not look past this Broncos team with the heavy schedule coming up. This next stretch of 7 games is ridiculous when you look at the Eagles, the Chiefs, the 49ers, the Ravens, the division, and you blow the game against the Broncos. We said, do not look past the Broncos, and it looks like and sounds like that's exactly what happened. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers overlooked the Denver Broncos. And, deservedly so, they're getting blasted for it. And then the post-game press conferences, they were not satisfying or fulfilling. There's just some comments here and there where it's just like, what? Baker Mayfield saying something like, this just goes to show you have to treat every game like a playoff game. Yeah, there's only 17 games in a season. You have to treat everyone like it's a playoff game. This is the NFL. This is the only sport where there's this little amount of games. And every game matters that much. What are we doing here? Zion McCullum saying the Broncos were pissed off all week for being 0-2, and we were happy all week coming off the win in Detroit. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but what the Bucs posted on their social media following that win was Todd Bowles in the locker room saying, act like you've been here before. Act like you've been here before. Doesn't seem like they acted like they've been here before. Because if you did, you would have celebrated Victory Monday and locked back in. Why are we still happy, jolly throughout the week while another team is pissed off preparing to defeat the Buccaneers? It's just stuff like that, man. It's stuff like that that gets under your skin because it's so avoidable. So avoidable. And I feel like we have enough leaders on this team where this should not be the case. There's enough people on this team that still have a Super Bowl ring where this should not be the case. I just had to get that off my chest. Nobody's going undefeated. This team was going to lose. It just is annoying that, Every single Bucs fan, reporter, media member said don't overlook the Broncos. Media and reporters were asking questions to the players like surrounding that. Is this a trap game for you guys with the Eagles coming up? And all the players are like, no, the Broncos are the most important game of the season because it's the next game of the season. Being there, the energy, the way this team came out, got punched in the mouth. First drive, Bo Nix driving right down the field like he hasn't in his first 2 games of his career. It didn't seem like that. I personally don't think this is an issue of, the Bucs aren't as good as we thought they were going to be. I think this is just more of a reminder that, hey, we had fun the first 2 weeks, but the Bucs can beat anyone. They can also lose to anyone. And I don't think myself as a fan needed that reminder, but maybe the players did. I don't know, because they were clearly riding a high after that Detroit win. The talent is there. We've seen it executed on the field. If the Bucs played the Broncos again on Sunday, they would probably still be favored. Like, they're the more talented team. But, you get out-coached, you get out-efforted, and this is what happens. You get embarrassed at home in front of your fans. Terrible weekend for me. I'm a USF graduate, USF fan now. So, being at Ray J for that USF Miami game, and then waking up, tailgating, and then being right back at Ray J for this game, my goodness. I'm so ready to be done with the weekend, and I'm so ready to move past this week to get to the next weekend to just clean it out of my system. Hopefully, please clean it out of my system. Like I said earlier, I think the only positive takeaway we can get from this is Bucky Irving continues to shine, make the most of his touches, and Todd Bowles did announce today that Bucky's playing his way into more touches and he will see more touches going forward. I don't think this is like a knock on Rachaad White. I just don't think Rachaad White, I think his skill set seems to be through 2 seasons and a few games that his skill set is limited in the way he runs the ball. One of the best receiving backs in the NFL, I'll stamp that. One of the best one-on-one players in the NFL, I'll stamp that. Him versus a linebacker, him versus a safety, him versus a corner, I'm taking Rachaad White to break that tackle every time. Rachaad White, outside runs, outside zone, pitches, tosses. I'm taking Rachaad White, but these runs up the middle with Rachaad White just consistently, we've saw it all last season and now into this season, they're not working. This 2-yard a run on average is just not, it's not going to work for the offense. And Bucky Irving, the way he runs, I think complements Rachaad White really well because Bucky Irving can run right up the middle, duck and juke through holes, burst and that acceleration on Bucky Irving. It's perfect for what Rachaad White is missing. So I don't think it's like, Bucky Irving looks so much better right now running the ball. I think it's just using Rachaad White's skill set in his best way and then using Bucky Irving's skill set in his best way. I don't think Bucky Irving's as good as a pass catcher as Rachaad White. These players have different skill sets and they're both very talented. Use them as such, and I think Liam Cohen, as the season goes on, will figure that out. I mean, we're 3 games in to the Liam Cohen experiment, and there's plenty of room to grow, and we've seen so many positives so far through the first 2 games. There's no positives here. But let's hit on some more of the negatives because that's what there is to talk about, and one of those is Todd Bowles continuing to be dominated by Sean Payton. I have the stat here. Sean Payton is 7-0 against a Todd Bowles defense since he joined the Buccaneers in the regular season. Obviously, Todd Bowles won the most important one with that playoff game, but 7-1. It's crazy. And over that span, it's been 4 different quarterbacks that Sean Payton has done this with. So it's not just like, Drew Brees just going off on the Buccaneers. No, it's Drew Brees retired, and it continued with quarterbacks that are nowhere near Pro Bowl level. So, yeah. I'm going to make a video just reacting to the Bucs' worst moments against the Denver Broncos. That's going to be fun. I already have all the tape and the film put together. Just going to watch that together, guys. I hope you join me. I know it's not going to be a fun watch, but there's some things that we need to see and need to take note of going forward. What else is there? Oh, maybe 7 sacks to 0. So it's both sides of the ball. Trenches just dominated by the Denver Broncos. And this is not a good Denver Broncos offensive line. Defensive line is definitely better than their O-line. They got a couple players. Zach Allen and John Franklin Myers. They got a couple guys. But it's not like there's an Aiden Hutchinson over there. And they finished with more sacks than the Lions did. What happened? And it came from this is on everyone. This is a full team effort. And along this offensive line, from school all the way to, yes, Tristan Wirfs, it has to get better. Nobody is playing up to their level right now. And as a group, they're not playing up to their level. There's some talented pieces along this offensive line. I know School is a backup and Gadecki will be back soon. But it still has to be better than this. Baker getting sacked 7 times is way too much. I know Baker walked into a couple of the sacks, but it just, even if it's 5 sacks to 0 is still insane, but 7 to 0 is ridiculous. There's no excuses for that. There's no excuses. So I'm not using the injuries as an excuse for like this game, but just going forward, I have my eye on the trenches. Really closely, because that was our biggest hole last season. Interior offensive line and pass rush. And guess what's happening this season? It's the same thing. They're getting beat on the offensive line and there's no pass rush. 2 sacks over 3 games is ridiculous. The Broncos just had 7 in a game. You got to get to the quarterback. We can talk about QB hits and pressures. It's all nice. It all affects the game, but you need to get to the quarterback. And you need to bring him down, and you need to shake him. You need to affect him. Bo Nix looks so confident against this Bucs defense. Just cool, comfortable, see someone coming his way. Chris Berman say, whoop! I mean, he just looked not like a rookie and not like the same player he was during those first 2 weeks. We made him look like a very good and confident quarterback. So moving forward, I need to see more time with these 2 groups being healthy. I need to see more time with Gadecki being at right tackle and this full offensive line being together. I still think it's definitely shaky on that interior, but I'm not going to say I'm concerned until I see an extended period of, yeah, this is the full healthy group and it's just not looking good. Same goes for the other side of the ball, even more. I mean, you're talking about your 2 best guys. I'd say your 2 best guys on the defensive line are Vita Vea and Kalijah Kancey, and you don't got them. So there's no pressure coming up the middle right now for the Buccaneers at all, at least in the last game. And on the outside, I mean, the offensive line is able to focus on that. Oh, you don't got Kancey, you don't got Vea, and you don't got, really good pass rushing depth in the middle. I'd say, they got some good run stuffers with Gaines and Logan Hall, but there's no pass rush coming up the middle. So you can lock in on Yaya Diaby, lock in on Joe, lock in on Braswell. So, again, not going to say I'm concerned. I got my eye on the group, but until I see it healthy, I'm not going to start freaking out. Because I think if you add a Kalijah and a Vita in that middle, I think things change for the defense entirely, because those are 2 major pieces. Again, not the reason the Bucs lost. The Bucs lost because the Broncos came in and just dominated the Bucs. But going forward, like I said, last year, those were the 2 clear holes on this team. Right now, they still look like the 2 clear holes, but I think it's too soon to determine that completely until we see both groups healthy. So that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment your thoughts on this game down below. I had to get a rant off. If I come off too negative, I'm sorry, but it's Monday. The game was just yesterday. I'm a fan. I get emotional, and it was not a fun watch. It really wasn't. So once again, let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Please like and subscribe if you have not already. Go Bucs. Y'all have a blessed one.